Hey family, we speak the life of the Browns, and we're here to help you break through what's been holding you back. And today we say
No
no
more.
more.
So maybe at the beginning of this year, you said, you know what? This is my year. This is the year I'm finally going to meet my husband.
This is the year that I'm finally going to start that business.
This is the year that I am going to buy that house, no more renting.
And this is the year that things are finally going to change for me.
But if you're honest, when you look at it, you said the same thing last year. And maybe the year before that. Maybe the year before that. In fact, if you really stop and think about it, you were probably saying exactly the same thing back in 2016. And maybe even a little bit earlier. Oh my gosh. And suddenly you look up and realize an entire decade has passed. But then you check and say, the time's gone, but my life hasn't changed. And if you're honest again, there may even be areas that you're struggling to believe that things will ever change. Because I've been there, I know. Every year that passes without change or real movement, it can feel like a little piece of hope dies with each year. And the thing is, it doesn't happen all at once. It's like this slow erosion that slowly pulls away your hope. And eventually, delay starts feeling like a temporary thing. And it starts feeling like, is this my life? Is this my life? Is this all I have to look forward to?
And you know what, family? If that's where you are right now, this video is for you. Because guess what? You're not alone, family. But you also don't have to stay stuck there anymore.
No, you don't.
Today, we want to help you identify the cycle of delay and how to break it with the Holy Spirit.
So delay is not always inactivity. Sometimes delay can look like researching endlessly, overthinking, waiting for perfect conditions, constantly asking God the same questions, avoiding difficult conversations, spiritualizing hesitation, and preparing forever, but not moving. So delay often disguises itself as some kind of wisdom because many of us ladies, we think that we're being careful, but actually there might be a little bit of fear in there.
Yeah, you scared of something. What are you scared of?
And there's a number of scriptures that can help us identify delay. James 1:22, it says, be a doer of word of not an hearer only. That encourages what? Movement. Then Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, trust in God and do not lean to your own understanding. Why? Because God already has the whole plan. So we don't have to map it out ourselves with our over planning and processes. And Ecclesiastes 11:4, whoever watches the wind will not plant. If we're watching the clouds in the sky and everything else that's going on around us, and we're judging that based on, our decisions to move, we're going to end up stuck. So when we take all of these things into consideration, we realize that we don't have to be delaying the process anymore. We can actually get out of stuck.
So we're going to give you 5 signs that you may be stuck in delay. Number 1, you keep reprocessing the same decision. You revisit the same thing repeatedly, but never act. That could be a business, that could be starting a YouTube channel or something had to do with social media, leaving a job that you know you don't want to be in. And the Lord probably already told you it's time for you to move on, but you keep holding on to it. Healing. We being delayed on healing and believing for our healing. Boundaries. We letting people in when they should be set apart. Out there somewhere. And relationship decisions, family. We know we have to let some people go, and we constantly keep holding on to them. And that is really, really holding us back.
Yeah, because as we've shared many times on this YouTube channel, our testimony, for me, my delay of actually seeing something change was my resistance to going live. Now, I didn't know it. And it wasn't even the going live. It's the fear of being seen, the fear of being judged. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to put myself out there. And so when God was encouraging me to go live, it wasn't as though I wanted to. There was a resistance there that I knew what he was saying, but I didn't want it because it felt safer to not have to put myself out there and expose myself like that. But if I had followed my internal voice in terms of not the spirit, but my internal resistance, my life would never have changed. I would never have met Kevin. I wouldn't be here doing these videos, talking to you. We wouldn't have met the amazing ladies that we had. And so in that, God was showing me, no, you need to do something that's going to cause a change and then a chain reaction. So, yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, you need certainty before movement. Like, you want a guaranteed outcome before I do anything. I need to know how it's going to work. I need to know this. You don't need to know everything. We don't need to know everything. We just need to move.
It's probably better if you don't.
It's probably so, because that'd probably even stop us even more if we know what the outcome was going to be, especially if we knew what we had to go through to even get to that part. Also, no embarrassment. No embarrassment. We don't want to be embarrassed if we do anything. Failure. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I was going to say, like, the embarrassment part. It's like, well, what if I put something on social media and no one watches? Well, here's a little thing. If you don't put something on social media, nobody's going to watch. So you might as well just do it. You might as well
do it anyway. Because if you don't do it, ain't nobody going to watch. If you do it, maybe some people are going to watch. So might as well go ahead and do it. Failure. A lot of people say, I'm maybe, what if I fail? What if I fail? And but you already failing because you ain't even start to do anything anyway. So you might as well start, right? We might as well just go ahead and do it. Rejection, no rejection. What if I get rejected? What if? Don't worry about the rejection.
That comes with the failure part.
That does come with. And.
I mean, try saying that. Next time you're tempted to put up a video, just say and. Now what?
Yeah, now what? Vulnerability. No vulnerability. I don't want to. I'm feeling this way. I don't want people to see me like that, and I'm having this not feeling right for me. It's not feeling right for me. Faith was never designed to operate with full visibility. Never. Look at Abraham. He had to do what God told him. He had to believe what God said to him. And he went to sacrifice his son. Peter walking on water. Bid me to come out there, Lord, and I'll do it. Come on in, Peter. You feeling froggy? Jump. You feeling froggy? Come on. And he walked on water. How about Moses leaving Midian? That man had to leave.
He had to trust God.
Trust him.
And go back to the place where he knew that he was being headhunted. And God sent him back there. Back to Egypt. He had to trust. But he didn't have the full picture.
No, he didn't. But he had enough trust in God to go and do what he told him to do.
He had enough trust to say, you know what?
Now what? And?
Number 3, you keep calling fear waiting on God. And now, there is a healthy waiting. We get that. But some waiting is actually avoidance, if you're being honest. Sometimes we say we're waiting on God, but the truth is God's already spoken to you and he's like, have you done that thing yet? Have you done that thing yet? I know that was the story for me. He was like, what are we waiting on? Did I not already speak to you like 3 days ago? A week ago? Get it together. Do the thing. Mm-hmm. Number 4, you're trying to protect yourself from disappointment. I don't want my heart to be broken again. I don't want to be in another failed relationship. I don't want to keep having all these missed expectations and these failed attempts and, the looking foolish, like the fear of me looking foolish again. The thing about it is, it's like all of these things, all we've heard in those instances you say is, I don't want. What do you want? What do you want? Because it's not just going to happen. Self-protection, although it seems good on the surface because you don't want this to happen and you don't want to miss the expectations and you don't want the failed attempts. But each time you say you don't want, you're leading yourself further into stagnation, further and further into stagnation. How about you change the story? I want a good relationship. I want, what do you want? Begin saying that and then taking the steps towards being that person that has the things that you want. Try that. So number 5, somewhere along the lines, you feel as though you've lost your trust and ability to hear God. Now, I can identify with this one because after that relationship that I've mentioned prior, the American relationship that did not work out, that was just like the straw that broke the proverbial camel's back, meaning it wasn't that was the first failed relationship. I had a series of failed relationships, and here I was now in another place where this relationship didn't work. But what made this one even more challenging was that I honestly believed that I had heard from God. I mentioned how I had received the dream. He told me the dream and he showed me that my husband was American. So there was that. Then he gave me the ability to go to America when ordinarily I wouldn't have been given access. And so I was like, okay, I managed to go to America, where I met this guy over there, not looking for him, but he appeared. But just before, a couple months before meeting him, I felt like God gave me a Bible verse. I've mentioned it before, Isaiah 58 verse 11. And so he said he was able to satisfy my soul in drought. I honestly believe this was the end of the drought season. And to top it all off, the next thing was that the same day that I met that guy, somebody prophesied over me and said, I see you meeting somebody and coming back to this particular church next year, holding hands. And that same day, they said that in the morning, and in the afternoon, late afternoon, this is when I met the guy. And so I was like, wow, this has to be it. There were so many things that suggested that this was who God was talking to me about, only to go 2.5 years later and discover that all of those things did not equal what I thought I understood. And so that began to raise that question in my mind, like, Lord, did I totally miss you? I thought all of these things were you. 1, 2, 3, 4, if not 5 things that were in alignment, only for it to be like, that caused me to feel like, am I hearing you correctly, Lord? And that was eroding away at my trust a little bit. So I completely understand if you find yourself in that space.
But this is how the Holy Spirit can break delay. Number 1, right? He restores clarity. It's not always the full picture, family. It's just the next step. So your word is like, we say your word is like a lamp under my feet, right? So it's not floodlights. It's not going to be these bright lights that's going to give you all these things. It's just going to be a lamp. It's going to be something that's a step. That's what he's going to give you, a step. But you got to take the step.
So number 2, he challenges our false agreements, meaning there are many things that we're being told and that sometimes we're agreeing with them. Like, I'm too old. I've missed my chance. I always fail. I'm not ready. I need more time. Nothing ever works out for me. See, the enemy keeps people delayed through agreement, but agreement with the wrong thing. And so even when you look back and you're looking over the things that you're telling yourself, what are you telling yourself? And what have you actually come into agreement with? And ask yourself this simple question. Is that true?
Yeah. So stop agreeing with those lies. Stop agreeing with those and start speaking what God is saying. Start speaking truth. Number 3, he leads us through movement, right? Clarity often comes after obedience, so we have to listen to what he's directing us to. I'm going to say, for me, it started off with me messaging Davina, because I kept asking about her, and I kept saying, Lord, she's pretty. I want to talk to her, and I asked for his, permission to talk to her first. But then he's like, okay, I had to take the step, because even with me praying to him and asking to talk to her, I still got to do something.
Yeah.
Meaning I have to message Davina, right?
He's like, I can't call her for you.
Right. So you got to make the call. And then the next thing, leaving jobs. Davina, we already did a video about Davina leaving her job. I had to leave mine to come here. So we both had to make a decision and take the next step. Our lives, YouTube lives, when doing our channel, stuff like that, Davina had to step up and start doing lives. And I had to come on, I came on to help her. Sending emails. Send the email.
Push the button.
Push the button. push the button, push the button. We started our group, and we started that.
Yeah, our Wednesday
Yeah, we started
circle.
our Wednesday circle, and it's like we got to start something. And we had some people who's writing books, from that. Just because what we started, we decided to do it. Some other people are benefiting, and they're getting breakthroughs too.
Yeah. And who's to say where any of all this can lead? Because, as Kevin said, we started the YouTube. We didn't know what that was going to look like. We started doing the videos, didn't know what that was going to look like. We still don't know in its entirety, but we're going. And then we had our YouTube community membership, and it's like, okay, well, we tried that. That wasn't necessarily it, but it led us to something else. It helped us to see something else. And so it's like, okay, all right, now we have this in front of us. Now we can do this. And we begin to work on that. And that's where we're at right now. And it's like, we're working on these things, and the people that we need are coming. The ideas are coming. But if we had stood all the way over the other side and didn't do anything and was trying to envision what the next year would look like without actually moving, would we actually be here? So that's the point. And so number 4 is like, he uses community. Like, we didn't start with a community. That's what I'm saying. We never started with a community. It started with myself and Kevin as separate people. He brought us together. Then we formed. And then now our community is growing.
Yeah, he used the community to break isolation, guys. It gets you out of that. Oh, so me's is it's just me. It's just me. No, community is used to surround you with other people to help you to break through as well.
Yeah. And even in that space, in the short space of time that we've been doing that, we are seeing women healing through, one, being seen, accountability, praying together. We have breakout rooms where they're able to be vulnerable and have intimate conversations. And then there's also action steps. As
That's
we said at the
important.
beginning, this isn't just going to happen automatically. God, phone call for Kevin or message for Kevin, like to message me. Kevin had to take the step, so action steps, and it creates a space for safe conversations. Safe conversations where you're able to express yourself freely and show up as you.
Yeah. So we have some testimonies of people who these stuff been happening for them. It's been so amazing. It's crazy. It's wild, but it's also so good to hear and get to see how when people take real action steps and apply them daily, you start seeing things happening for people, and that's amazing. It's amazing to me.
Yeah. And so we've had a couple of ladies on there. They've come on there. They came into the circle. They weren't sure of their next steps. Some of them have started intentionally with their YouTube channels. Some of them have gone on to written. I think one lady went on to write 2 books.
2 books.
2 books. And there's so much more that she's doing. There's so much more.
In a short space of time, though.
In a short
it was like quickly.
Short space of time. She would even tell you that herself,
Yeah,
wouldn't she?
because it was just action. It was like taking action. It's like little steps at a time. When you take those steps at a time, those steps compile into a whole big picture, and you don't see the whole thing because you're in movement. You're in movement. You're tuning in to what the Lord is telling you and directing you, and you're paying attention to that little lamp.
Yeah.
That lamp is guiding you, and that's steps, man. It brings you from disobedient to obedient to what God is saying. And it moves you into clarity. It help you.
Yeah.
Because that movement is going to come before that confidence do. It will be uncomfortable, but that act of obedience will bring you into that confidence you're looking for.
So here's a couple of questions that you can begin to ask yourself to help you identify where you're at in the cycle of delay that you may be experiencing. So question number 1, what have I been delaying? What have you been putting off? Good question.
Yeah. What number 2? This is the second question. What am I afraid will happen if I move? Don't be scared, family. Make the move.
Make the move. What do you already know God has spoken to you or shown you that you haven't yet taken action on?
Ooh. Number 4, am I truly waiting on God or avoiding discomfort? And number 5, what small step can I take today?
Mm-hmm.
that'll get me moving.
Yeah. Because you don't have to have your whole life figured out before you move. You just need to have enough trust to take the next step. And often breakthrough doesn't happen all in one go. It happens one act of obedience at a time. This is how you break the cycle of delay. And if this has blessed you, we want to bless you even further, because Kevin and I have put together a free, yes, I did say free, a free training on how to get unstuck. And it's called From Stuck to Spirit Led. Now, if you go to the description, the link is in the description, you'll be able to go over there and do the training. It's only going to take you 15 minutes. You can get unstuck today in 15 minutes. So just think about it. It's been a decade since anything's moved. And here's the opportunity to go over to our website and get this thing figured out in 15 minutes or less.
Yeah. So, family, we're here to tell you we're going to help you break through what's held you back. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're the Browns, and we'll see you in the next video.